In this video, I'm going to go over the different types of angles that we're going to be working with this year. So first step, we've got acute, obtuse, and right. So acute angles are angles that are less than 90 degrees. Obtuse are angles that are more than 90 degrees, and right angles are 90-degree angles. So those are exact. So an acute angle might look like this. An obtuse angle might look like that. And I'm not a perfect artist, but a right angle should look something like that, a perfect corner. So those should, for the most part, be somewhat of a review, but what's going to be new is what we're going to talk about now, which are supplementary and complementary angles. So supplementary angles are two or more angles that have a sum of 180 degrees, which for those that don't know, that is a straight line. So I like to think S and the word straight for straight line. A complementary angle is when two or more angles that have a sum of 90 degrees. And so I like to think C and the word corner. So supplementary straight, complementary corner. And again, that's not a perfect drawing. And the way that we use this is actually to solve for missing values. So for example, if I said that I had a set of angles that looked like this, okay, there are two ways that I can solve this. I know that because this is a straight line, that it has a total of 180. And so I could do the math in my head. I can say, you know, if this whole thing is supposed to be, we can even think about our tape diagrams. If this whole thing is supposed to be 180, and I already know that this section's 40, but what I need to do to solve for this one, I need to find the difference. Or we can write an equation, which is what we just spent a couple weeks doing. We would take x plus 40 is equal to 180, because a supplementary angle is two or more angles that have a sum of 180, meaning we would add them together. And from here, I'm going to solve like a normal equation. I draw my line, and in order to get rid of this positive 40, I would need to subtract on both sides. And that leaves me with x equals 140. So this angle right here would have a value of 140. Again, this is not perfect. I'm not an artist. And the same thing could be said for a complementary angle. Let's say I started with this, and we had that this is 30 degrees, and this is x degrees. Again, you could think about it like a tape diagram, or you could come over here and write your equation. X plus 30 is equal to, this is a corner, which means it's complementary. It's going to have a sum of 90. And so then I go to solve. I draw my line. This is positive 30. To get rid of it, I'm going to subtract. And I am left with x equals 60. Now, you could also get one that is a tad more complicated. Let's say that we're given one like this. Okay, we have 2x and 110. So I'm going to think, is this complementary or supplementary? I'm going to take my two pieces of information, 2x plus 110. I'm going to add these two together. And then since this is supplementary, that's a straight line, it's going to be 180. And I'm going to solve. So I draw my line. To get rid of positive 110, I'm going to subtract. I'm left with 2x equals 70. And from there I need to divide. So I'm left with x equals 35 degrees. Next week we'll talk about actually finding this angle. For right now, we're only looking for x.